Have you heard of a player who has managed to hold on to a quarterback job for the same team in the NFL for 20 years? Tom Brady managed the unthinkable in 2019 by spending 20 whole years as a quarterback for the Patriots. Here are some of the most insane plays from his successful career. Brady against the Bills in 2009. This took place in 2009 when Brady went in for an epic 9 for 11 for 81 yards and managed an 18-yard bullet to Ben Watson. This was followed by a tremendous biff by Leodis McKelvin, after which the Patriots immediately took over the game at the Buffalo 31-yard line. It was clear that Brady was single-handedly dominating this whole game, especially after he ended up hitting Randy Moss for 6 yards and then hitting Wes Welker for 9 yards right after. Brady then fired another 16-yard bullet to Watson in the end zone, which ended in a fantastic touchdown. After this, and the final 3 Patriots drives, Brady managed to accomplish 18 for 21 for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. More than a decade has passed since this happened, and the Bills still haven't recovered from this attack. Did you know that most of the highlights of Brady's career include being great late in close games? His play in 2009's game and his return to football let everyone know that nothing had changed and he was still a pretty solid player. Super Bowl magic in 2018. The ultimate dream for all quarterbacks is to throw just one pass to win a Super Bowl. It's one of the most iconic things that could ever happen to a player. It would also be a defining moment for them. But as you might have expected, this victory came easy to Brady. And even though he has managed many better throws, this one was spectacular. It happened when Sony Michel ran into the end zone on the next snap to give New England a 10-3 lead, and Brady threw the ball even though he knew that Gronkowski was completely covered by the linebacker. It was clear that Brady had found his opportunity and that he couldn't wait to throw the pass. So he threw the ball to the spot where he knew only his hulking tight end could get it and secure a 6th Super Bowl victory for his team. Brady against the New York Giants in 2007. The 2007 era was magical since both Tom Brady and Randy Moss secured one victory after another every week. The NFL did bow down to them. During the game against the Giants in 2007, Brady capped it off in style and hit Moss for a 65-yard bomb up the right sideline. It was a great hit and gave Brady his 50th touchdown pass of the season. It also gave Moss his 23rd touchdown, and he managed to create a record because of this. Even though the record was impressive, Brady's record was beaten by Peyton Manning just a few years later, but Moss's record still stands today. The great thing about this play is Brady's dedication to the game. After letting himself celebrate for a couple of seconds, Brady got back into game mode and jogged up to the line for a huddle and a 2-point conversion with his teammates. Even though the game was successful, Brady did make one tiny mistake when he handed the ball to Lawrence Maroney from the 5-yard line so that he could achieve a put-away touchdown. He could have easily thrown that touchdown himself. The game against the Ravens in 2015. The plays in this game are arguably some of the best throws of Brady's career. You might not believe this, but the Pats were put down 14 twice that night, but still managed to top the Ravens with a 35-31 win in this divisional round game. People have even called this the greatest game that has ever been played in the history of Gillette Stadium. The game started with the Patriots rallying from a 14-0 hole, experienced a deficit but still managed to trail 31-28 in the fourth quarter. Soon they were in a position to kick a field goal and tie the game. But the game was unpredictable at the time, and the field goal might not have been able to save them from a loss. So Brady decided to intervene and orchestrate the best play of his life. He took a shotgun snap and lobbed a floater to the goal line. Braden LaFell caught the drift and immediately pinned the ball to his midsection to secure the catch. As you might have guessed, Brady's team won the game. If this wasn't enough, Brady made history twice in the same game, since his touchdown to LaFell was his 46th career playoff touchdown. This moved him past Joe Montana for the title of most all-time. A ton of franchise records for most yards also followed because Brady was quite literally beating his own records. OT winner in 2003. This is one of Brady's most interesting plays. It's also one of his best. The game included a fake pitch and a quick pump fake, which was a little odd, but it didn't matter much since Brady effortlessly backed up to the 12-yard line just a few seconds later. He also went on to chuck an absolute bomb right up the field to Troy Brown. As you might have expected, it was a perfect pass and it led to a perfect catch, so it's safe to say that this was a perfect play to cap off a mid-season win. It's also important to note that this is a place where victories have not come easy for the Patriots, so Brady's play was a game changer here. His play made this the 3rd straight win for the Patriots, and it also helped them kick off a streak of 21 consecutive victories. And even though Brady's overall numbers in this game aren't super impressive, he did make a crucial play in the biggest moment of the game. The bullet to Patterson in 2018. If you're a Brady fan, you might be a little surprised to hear about this one. That is because this play came in a game that the Patriots lost ridiculously, and the whole game wasn't particularly noteworthy either, but this pass was just pure genius. It was so perfectly placed that fans went ballistic, especially because they weren't expecting Brady to try a game changer in a horrible game. This play also came at a time when all sorts of analysts were saying that Brady's arm strength was cooked. Looks like they were wrong, so anyone who thought Brady had a noodle arm retracted their statement statements immediately after this play. The fantastic third down laser in 2014. This play was remembered mostly for the hit laid by Cam Chancellor on Julian Edelman, which was followed by a brilliant game of chicken played by Tom Brady and Bobby Wagner. As soon as the game started, the Seahawks linebacker had picked off a Brady pass over which made Brady extremely cautious of the linebacker's presence. And it's a good thing he learns from his mistakes, since he immediately backed up on his own 28-yard line while trailing by 10 points. It's important to note that there were only 11 minutes left in the game, so it was a highly stressful situation for him. But Brady works best under pressure, and he had the sense to wait patiently, which was just enough to look Wagner off, clearing out the narrowest of passing lanes for a long completion to Edelman on a deep end cut. If you've seen the game, you know only a perfect strike would have worked there, and that's exactly what Brady delivered. The AFC Championship game at Denver in 2015. This was truly a game of nerves for Brady. This is because he was constantly under attack. The other team wasn't even letting him breathe. They considered him a notable threat, and everyone knew it. During the game, the Denver pass rush teamed off on the offensive line, and because of this, Brady recorded 4 sacks and 17 quarterback hits. You heard that right. He had 17 quarterback hits this time. This was also a game where Patriots running backs gained just 31 yards the entire game. The only reason why the Patriots still had a chance to win was because of the work of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, who are two of the best men to ever play their positions. This game was intense because DeMarcus Ware had already taken down 2 of Brady's plays, and after facing a 4th and 10 at midfield, Brady took a shotgun snap and dropped back before arching a rainbow up the right seam, which landed on Gronkowski. Only a perfect pass could have completed this game, and a perfect pass, of course, is what Brady delivered. But despite the excellent pass and all the hard work the players put in, the Patriots ended up losing the game, and the Broncos went on to win the Super Bowl. This was particularly hurtful, especially for Brady fans who were watching his efforts to uplift the team during the game. He also got pummeled quite a lot, but never gave up. It was truly one of his most impressive plays, and his titanic effort on that final drive should never get lost in history. And with that, we'll end this video. Thanks for watching.